If you are looking to step up your game, or maybe you are just interested to see what it looks like when someone is trying to min-max in Fallout 76, then you've come to the right place. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that on the points where I bring up a jetpack, obviously you will need a jetpack. And you will be seeing me jumping around with the marsupial mutation for that extra jump height. You can also apply these tricks without that mutation. Oh, and one last thing, you can use these tricks in power armor as well. Having said that, let's move to the first point. Switching weapons while running. When you are in first person and you are running and want to switch weapon while running, you're going to start walking and then automatically start running again. And the time it takes until you start running again depends on the draw animation of your gun. So obviously heavier guns here, as you can see, they take longer to draw, whereas something like the machete, smaller, faster draw time. Not that it really matters for my point, because you can just bypass all of that if you go into third person, and you will see here, when you are in third person, you can swap weapons while running and it won't impact your movement at all. It's very convenient and easy to do to keep things going. Next up, reload while running. If you reload while you are running, you're going to stop running until the reload animation is over. So if you reload faster, you're gonna get back to running faster, but something like a heavy gun, it's of course gonna reload slower. You will have this slowdown in both first person and third person, but there is a way to bypass that. And that is if you reload and then jump after you have reloaded. Assuming you sprint first as well, of course. This bypass only works in third person, so keep that in mind. So again, you sprint, you reload, and then you jump. If you do it quickly and properly, you can get a really nice fast motion out of it, like you're constantly running. You can also do a late reload mid-air, and when you land, you're gonna start sprinting again. This is something that I incorporate into my playstyle a lot, and there are some certain situations where you can use it to make things have a really nice flow, and I will show that more towards the end of this video as well, where I have a specific example run, which is gonna be quite brief. In the third point, we got faster jetpack speed. When you run and jump, obviously you're gonna get that initial speed, but when you press space again for your jetpack to activate, if you are in third person, you are going to get a slowdown. If you are in first person, you're going to keep running. So this is basically a reverse to the other things where third person works on those things, but first doesn't. Well, here, first person is the way to go. Let's say we want to get to this White Spring Station roof. Well, you can't just jump down and jump back up like this, but there are a couple of other ways to do it, like jumping there in third person, and then activate the jetpack. As you can see, it slows us down. Let's do that again in first person. So even mid-air, if you are in third person, you can go into first person and then use the jetpack and it's still going to work. I have two more examples just to show you how powerful this method is. So here, we're gonna try to make it to this electricity post. Quite easy with first person, as you can see. Let's try that with third person. You can see we instantly get a slowdown. We are feeling pretty far away right now. So I decided first person, otherwise I'm not gonna make it. And then we speed up, and I even overshot it there, so did help us cross the finish line anyway. And also a prime example here in Watoga, you see this very long jump. If you look at the AP bar, sometimes it doesn't take AP when you use your jetpack. I think this is especially true for laggy servers sometimes, but it can also hinder your movement in other ways, so laggy servers, probably not the best idea. Alright, next up we got Jetpack Double Jump. This can be useful in something like this Beasts of Burden event, for example. I tend to use it here, because up here you are going to grab some cargo and then you just jump down with it, and I believe that is the fastest way to deliver the cargo. To jump down, you need to cross this rope, right, which you can also get stuck on, which is a method that I use as well. It's pretty consistent, but not 100%. So an alternative way is the double jump. But first, let's take a look at a regular jump. What does that look like? Okay, so this is about the height that we get. Let's do that one more time. Yeah, okay. And if we double jump, not only do we jump less, but we start falling earlier. And so it's perfect if you need to jump down from here. You can just double jump instantly and you will land perfectly at the door where you need to deliver. Jetpack back up, take the cargo, do the same thing, rinse and repeat, and you're gonna have some fast runs. Again, it's min-maxing, but it's just one of those things that make it flow nicely, you know? In our fifth point, we got first and third person targeting. So what exactly does that have to do with movement? Well, it's quite niche, but I will show you. Either way, you can't see the super mutant, but if you go into third person, you can. Can't shoot him with third person, but if you have VATS, you can. So in specific angles, it can be very useful, where you might not even have to expose yourself, which is an additional perk. Aside from that, not really too much movement related, I guess, but if you're third person and something is really close to you, generally much easier to hit that enemy in first person. Let's reuse the clip from the intro of this video. It's pretty quick, so let's slow that down. Now in this case, first person might have worked. I might not even have needed to do this flashy maneuver, but imagine it's a full wall right in front of me, then third person would have made this possible. Again, we're trying to min-max here. Oh, and a quick extra tip with this point is if you're using auto melee, for example, it's a lot easier to specifically aim if you are in first person, especially on human enemies. Alright, so our sixth and very last point here is going to be emoting while running. So here you're gonna see that when you run and emote, your character starts walking, kind of like when you are reloading or switching weapons. Same thing applies here, third person is going to completely eliminate all of this, but you can also just press the emote wheel, let it automatically go into third person and then start sprinting right after. You have to stand still for this though initially when you emote in order for it to work. Now the use cases that you would have with this, maybe if you're running past someone, you're in a hurry somewhere, you can just drop a hello on the way or something, I don't know. But the main use really is going to be within expeditions, the most sensational game where you need to emote when you take down your opponents. It is perfect for that. If you want to kind of speed run through it, you can just run towards your destination as you emote. So those were all the points, but feel free to stick around for this example run where I show you kind of how I use multiple of these points. So this right here is what I referred to before as you can use it in different ways. As I'm going to jump up into the door frame to reduce the airtime of my marsupial serum. That way I don't have to spend unnecessary airtime where I can't get through the next door. If we just check this out in slow-mo, I reload and jump with the timing to hit the door frame. This next clip is gonna show a couple of things. Right here you can see I went into first person and used the jetpack, maintained the speed, and it was also a way to break the fall so I didn't take a whole lot of damage or stagger or whatever. Then we jump over the large fence with first person again, take down these enemies. Here I drop an emote while I'm running in third person, so it doesn't hinder my movement at all. I also jump into this door frame here, but it doesn't actually do anything in this case. I reload and jump. It was a little bit slow, but I did maintain my speed. Not that it did a whole lot there either, so maybe this is not the best example, but I just did one run and wanted to show you kind of how it can be used. I'm sure you can understand that it's more useful in certain scenarios. Alright, so that's truly all I have for you in this video. I hope you found it interesting at the very least. Maybe you will apply some of this yourself. Make sure to let us know what you're going to try out in that case, if not maybe all of it, but that might be a little bit much to take on right away. Either way, thanks for watching. If you found the video useful, interesting, whatever, drop a like. Feel free to comment something, subscribe of course, and I will see you next time.